Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're breaking down the intense political clash happening in Osun State right ahead of the Saturday, August 15th governorship election. We're looking at a race that has completely captured the public's attention, and honestly, it's filled with huge personalities, viral moments, and absolutely massive Democratic stakes. So, let's get into it.
To understand this race, you have to look at the opposition's strategy, which has been incredibly colorful and, frankly, deeply personal. I mean, just listen to this quote from Edo State Governor Monday Okpebola. He says, "For 4 years, this man has been dancing before he take breakfast, before he drink tea he will dance." It's a direct, highly aggressive critique of the incumbent governor's very public persona.
Section 1. The Osun election heats up. August 15th, 2026.
Section 2. The Dancing Governor Criticism, focusing on the APC's argument.
Now, this right here brilliantly illustrates the core narrative battle of this election. On one side, the opposition's claim is super simple. Governor Ademola Adeleke spends all his time dancing and hasn't actually achieved anything for the state. But Adeleke's staunch rebuttal, "I dance but I work." It's a classic clash of political framing, right? The opposition really wants to paint him as unserious, while he insists, hey, I can absolutely do both.
Let's unpack the specifics of those claims a bit more. Critics, echoing Governor Okpebola, argue that this constant dancing means Adeleke is completely disconnected from the job. They allege he dances before meals, dances before entering planes, and crucially, they claim he arrives at general meetings in Abuja only after they have already closed. So the argument being presented to voters is that he simply does not know the reality of today's governance because he's just too distracted.
Moving on to Section 3, Adeleke defends his record, subtitled Jolly Good Fellows.
So how does the governor respond? Well, during a recent Arise TV town hall meeting, Adeleke proudly embraced his family's well-known love for music. He straight up stated, "In our family, we are jolly good fellows. We have music in our blood, and I tell you what, nobody, I repeat, nobody, will stop me from dancing." He even went as far as to say that his opponents are simply jealous because they can't dance themselves. He actually jokingly offered to teach them if they wanted to learn.
But here's the really important takeaway. Adeleke views himself as both an entertainer and a highly serious worker. He says, "As I'm dancing, I'm working." He insists his hobby doesn't interfere with his duties at all, and he specifically points to his administration's strong record of managing inherited debts as hard proof that he's a prudent leader. He confidently asserts that while the opposition focuses entirely on his dancing, his actual economic work and debt management speak for themselves.
Section 4. Claims of electoral intimidation beyond the dance floor. 14. That number is absolutely crucial here. Governor Adeleke claims that exactly 14 Accord Party members and candidates are currently languishing in jail in Abuja. And this represents a massive, very serious escalation in the narrative of this campaign, moving way beyond just political banter.
He's not holding back. He directly accuses the opposition of using what he calls federal might to illegally arrest his people and intimidate Osun voters. He's alleging that people are being allowed to be killed, and he publicly challenges the opposition with a pretty tough question. If you know that you can win democratically, why are you using these aggressive tactics? Ultimately, he frames these actions as being born entirely out of the pain of defeat.
And he goes even further, specifically calling out an unnamed cousin to Mr. President. Adeleke claims this individual is the one causing chaos in the state because he's suffering from the pain of a past political defeat. Adeleke's message to him was crystal clear. Look, this is a democracy. Go and sit down and respect what the Osun people actually want.
These allegations are so severe that they're actually threatening standard democratic protocols in the state. Adeleke stated, "I've been talking to Bishop Matthew Kukaw because I do not want to come to that signing." He's expressing deep reluctance to attend the traditional pre-election peace signing, pointing out a supposed pattern where detainees are only released right before signatures are needed.
Section 5. The battle lines are drawn, with instructions for Election Day.
So ahead of Saturday, he's aggressively urging his supporters to stand their ground. He tells them, look, if the opposition brings money, take it from them, but do not vote for them. But more importantly, he gives a very clear directive for after the vote is cast. Mount your vote, mount your guard. He's explicitly telling his supporters to resist all forms of intimidation and instructing them not to go home after voting, but to literally stay there and protect their ballots.
So what does this all mean? Ultimately, the choice facing Osun voters this Saturday is stark. Will they buy the APC's narrative of a distracted, dancing governor? Or will they reward Adeleke's debt management record and heed his serious warnings of federal intimidation? Amidst the viral videos and the very real threats of jail time, this election is a fascinating study in modern political campaigning and a massive stress test for the state's democracy. It's definitely going to be one to watch.